The holidays may be the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the most wasteful time of the year.
Oh,
Not to
guilty.
be Scrooge, but the waste generated during the holidays goes up by around 23 to 25% compared to
Oh,
the rest of the year. So we're buying gifts, we're wrapping those gifts, we're buying bigger meals, we're decorating our homes, we're sending holiday cards. And about that wrapping paper,
oh no.
between 40 to 50% of our world's industrial logging is used to make paper. And I found a local government source in Oregon that said that about half of paper is consumed for single use decorating or wrapping.
Half?
Half.
Holy cow.
I find that hard to believe, but
I,
of course it was a government source. So I'm like, I think I believe you.
oh my gosh.
So let's explore how to have a more sustainable holiday season. Do eco friendly wrapping paper and greeting cards exist? We'll find out. Welcome to Greening Up My Act. Okay.
Wow. That was really good. I never thought of this as an issue before. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Kat.
My goodness. I don't think it's being a Scrooge to have a mindful holiday season. It is something that we just kind of throw caution to the wind. It's part of the holiday. It's just like, it's Christmas,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Eat
it's
too much, drink too much,
the bag
buy
of
too much.
trash. Yeah. So, okay. Can we do the excess without excessively damaging the ecosystem in which we live?
Yeah, we're going to find out. Or sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have thoughts on it. And I'm curious to know your thoughts too.
Okay. Well,
But first, my sources. So I looked into wrapping paper and greeting cards specifically, and the New York Times had an article on wrapping paper. I used goingzerowaste.com, and then WBUR is like I think it's a local radio station.
yeah.
Here and Now, I think it was why can't I think of the word?
It's public radio. It's a public radio show. I've
A
listened to
show.
it. Yeah. It's a show. There, the
Right.
word was show.
Okay, I don't really know them, so I'm glad.
Okay. I've definitely listened to Here and Now
Okay,
on my
so they
local
had
NPR station. Are they Public
okay.
Radio International or are they?
I have no clue.
Anyway, they're produced
Yeah.
by one of those public radio programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had some good tips on creating a more sustainable holiday season.
Cool.
And there was this I looked kind of all over the place for I don't know, stats on wrapping paper specifically, and the best one I could find was Wildlife and Countryside Link, which is one whole
Wow.
name.
That's a URL. Okay.
And well, WCL, but it's
Okay.
also from the UK. And I mentioned in one of the previous episodes that it's always the UK. Like the
Yep.
UK cares about this stuff so much more, and so they look at the UK, but it's hard to translate that. But they did have some interesting stats. And then I looked at upstate.edu on paper waste, the Oregon Environmental Council, which I mentioned, and Greenpeace had less waste wrapping paper options.
Mm-hmm.
Two of which, actually, I don't know if these were in this article, but two less waste wrapping paper options that I looked into were called Rappily and Shiki Wrap. I looked at their websites.
Yeah.
And then zero waste card ideas from Trash is for Tossers, which I love.
It's very UK. Yes.
Yes,
That's
I
cheeky.
loved
I
it
like that.
so much. And then Brightly has had a really useful blog on greeting card waste. So let's start with wrapping paper, shall we?
Yes.
88 square kilometers of wrapping paper are likely to be used in the UK this year, which is 34 square miles.
Okay. That's in the UK.
And that's only the UK.
Okay. Okay, UK.
Okay, UK. I
Just
see you.
I'm gonna look up the population of the UK while you go through
Yeah.
this so we can compare.
Yeah, we can maybe multiply. And
Well, it's got to be more for
I was going to
the
say
US.
people in the UK are much more conscious of.
Okay, so 67.33 million people in the UK. And we have 300 million.
Oh
So
my God. So 34 square miles times 5.
yeah.
At least. Yeah. It's more. It's a lot more.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
And one of the big problems is that many types of wrapping paper can't be recycled. So
Glitter is forever.
yes, anything with glitter, anything that's metallic or shiny that has
Which is like
foil.
all of Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like none of those can be recycled. And so because of that, I wanted to find options. So like what are the other options? And Greenpeace, I really like this quote, and I think they took it from somewhere, but the most sustainable item is the one that already exists. So if you're going to be wrapping presents, you could look into this tradition. It's a Japanese tradition called furoshiki wrapping.
Yes.
You know about it? It's so cool. It's a folding technique, and you use fabric. And this website that I found with it had like, oh my God, like probably 40 different ways you could fold the fabric.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was so cool. Have you ever done it?
I've never done it. No, I know I've seen it for sure. I know what a great
Cool.
idea. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, I hadn't either. And Greenpeace pointed out like use what you already have as far as fabric. Don't go out buying new fabric.
So those
Or
we
thrift
talked about,
fabric.
yeah, fast fashion. Maybe this year, instead of giving your, stained T-shirt to Goodwill and hoping they sell it, which they won't, and it'll end up in the river in Ghana. Yeah, cut it up and wrap presents in it. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
put a cute like ribbon.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know
Yeah.
how much the receiver would like it, but
Well, you know what? You can talk to them about like, I saved 5 trees
there you
today
go. There you
by
go.
wrapping and you can. So one thing, my sister and I we've been sending each other this box back and forth for our birthdays. My best friend bought me a cake for my 40th birthday or some birthday in it. And when you open it, a bunch of butterflies flew out.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I just
Isn't
stuffed all the
that like
butterflies
on
back
Mean
in.
Girls or something? That was like
Oh,
on a movie.
anyway, I mean, it was cute. And so I just put my sister's present in that, and then she sent it back this year. So we're just sending each other the packaging back and forth. It's great.
I love that. That's really smart.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It wouldn't be very minimalist, but that's fine.
Yeah, well,
I'm just kidding.
thanks. I don't mind not being a minimalist.
Right. We had a whole episode on minimalism if you missed that. So
yeah,
it's not even minimalism that's the problem. You'll have to listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't. Two guys. So
yeah, I don't mind not being part of that cult.
Yes.
Or that label. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Yar. So I found one, and this was in the New York Times. Go freaking figure. I feel like the New York Times, they know their audience, but it's very annoying because their audience is very rich. So
yeah, yep.
They pretend it's not, I think, but it is. So they suggested the shiki wrap, which is basically like a consumable version of furoshiki wrapping, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a play on the name.
Okay.
And they say on their website, you can wrap in seconds, no tape needed. All this stuff, like skip the scissors, made to be reused again and again, and all this stuff. So it's basically a piece of fabric. I don't know I didn't look into all that much about it, but it's basically a piece of fabric that is sort of designed to be used as wrapping paper.
Okay.
And the problem is that it is insanely expensive. So
yep.
One large wrap is $16.99. I think it's almost $17. So imagine buying something for somebody and then being like, okay, on top of that price, I have to spend $17 more just to wrap it.
Yikes.
I am a little confused because are you supposed to take the wrapping back? Or are
I
you
know, you're
supposed to
like,
give
thanks, I'm
somebody?
just gonna, or you do what my sister and I do and you send it back and forth. But like, that's the thing. Yeah, if you're giving it away to a friend,
It would be awkward to be like,
yeah,
I mean, if they're a good friend, it doesn't matter. But if it's somebody who's like kind of an acquaintance, giving that
yeah.
away to somebody, you'd be like, can I have that back? I actually
And
spent like my whole life savings on that.
I'm gonna use it as a handkerchief, I promise. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like if you can just get it back and reuse it for life, that's not a bad price. But I don't know how realistic that is.
you need to do your calculations on how many times you'd have to use it for it to equal the price of an 88-cent tube of paper from
Right.
its life cycle calculation
Yeah,
from Walmart.
exactly.
Yeah,
And not to mention it's a new product, you're still
it's
buying
still,
something new.
yes, again, it's produced. You're not, yeah, you're still adding to the carbon footprint of consumerism. So
Yeah. And so then so if you're going to do the fabric thing, which I really like, I would just use something you already have. And I have some really cute fabrics actually. Or thrift something and just kind of be a little bit creative with it. And then I looked up I saw some stuff about biodegradable gift wrap and I was like, what the heck is this?
okay,
I
I'm
was
gonna
oh,
just,
oh
biodegradable is a green hooey word, as we all know.
yes.
Anything is biodegradable with enough heat added to it. So
Yes, glass is technically biodegradable.
yes, yeah,
Bones are technically biodegradable.
millions of years, but yes.
But I will say I was actually pleasantly surprised by this company that I found. So, biodegradable gift wrap is basically recyclable and it doesn't contain plastic.
Okay,
So,
I like that.
theoretically, you could like compost it
Okay.
or what? Like you could compost it in your backyard. Um, and I found this company called Rappily, WRAPPILY.
Yeah.
I went into it highly skeptical and they kind of won me over for some reason by the
Ooh,
end of it. I don't know if it's just like the paper's so cute, but
I
I
love
liked a
paper.
couple yeah, it's really cute. But I liked a couple things about it because one, it's they use recycled paper and their paper is plastic free, so it's recyclable and compostable. It's manufactured in Washington State, which I appreciate.
Oh yeah, locally. I mean, in the United States is nice.
Yeah, and they worked with global illustrators. So like artists actually create the designs on their paper.
Okay, I like that too.
Yeah, and they have reversible patterns. So there's a pattern on both sides. So you can kind of like pick and choose, which I appreciate because I feel like if you order Christmas paper, there's only one time a year you can use that, but
Yeah,
maybe it's a little bit if it's reversible, like maybe it's more user friendly like
yeah,
for the rest of the year.
yeah.
And then it's plastic free packaging without the inner tube. Um, so they don't have like the big tube, which I guess is a waste. And the cost isn't too bad, I guess. I'm trying to think what a regular tube of
Like $1. I mean, seriously, you can get it
that's
real
true.
cheap.
But if you get the really cheap ones, it's literally like a foot, like 1 square foot.
Yeah,
You're like, dang
and
it, it's already
it
out.
tears. Like even
Yes.
you're
It's
trying to
like
wrap the
tissue
present and
paper.
it tears. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
all right.
Right. So 3 sheets, which they have the sizing. I didn't write the sizing down, but I think they were like 3 pretty big, pretty good size sheets. Cost $10.80. So
And
I don't think
you're
it's like
paying an artist
right.
or
I don't think it's
two.
the cheapest option, but I think if you feel the need to use gift wrap, this could be a really good option. And the reviews are really good.
Okay,
So people like
I
it.
mean, it's
Yeah,
cute.
I was kind of like won over by them. If you must use wrapping paper. But some other options that I've actually used in the past were newspaper. So I had saved up when I had a newspaper.
Subscription back in
Yeah,
the
in my
day.
shared home, we had like a subscription, and so I saved the comics.
Yes, that's.
And
I mean, yeah,
yeah, it took like some forward thinking, but it was really cute,
yeah,
actually.
that's a classic.
Yeah,
I think newspaper is a great. I mean, just your alt weekly,
right.
from your neighborhood. They have fun covers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is kind of funny. Last year, this is my own addition, but paper bags. So, like, last year I used paper bags, or 2 years ago, and I kind of like ran out of paper bags. So I had to use, because I like, I don't know, I'm cheap and I don't want to buy new shit, but um it looked terrible. Like, I will say, I felt almost like embarrassed to give these as gifts to people, but luckily it was just my family, and I was like, oh, who cares? But just paper bags, like from the grocery store. I just turned them
Yeah.
inside out,
Yeah.
slapped them on. Had a few
You can,
holes, but it's fine.
well, then you can like, my
I decorated
sister,
them.
yeah, you can like draw on them. My sister used to
Hmm.
use, they turned cereal boxes inside out to make
Oh,
boxes.
yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
So,
can make them really pretty with like a piece of twine and some
yeah.
rosemary if you really want to get
Yeah.
fancy.
Or holly, it being the holidays.
Right.
And a candy cane
So,
right there.
yeah, and then the next year I was so embarrassed that I got craft paper.
You're like, I'm going to do it up this
So,
year.
yeah. The good thing about craft paper is that it's not bleached. A lot of people say like craft paper is eco-friendly. It's so so
Yeah.
sustainable. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's still freaking paper.
I know.
Like,
You're still tearing down a forest for it.
yeah, and it's helpful because it is recyclable, but the person on the other end has to recycle it. So,
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to trust that other
yeah,
person's.
and that's the problem with all of this really, but
Yeah.
um and you can also use fabric, but like a tea towel, which is
Oh,
really
yeah.
cute because somebody could
Yeah.
use that.
That's definitely make the wrapping part of the gift.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
I've definitely done
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and similarly, you can reuse like tins, like cookie tins
I do
or
that a
glass
lot.
jars. You said
Yep.
that you did. Yeah, we'll have to save some of that for the gift episode. But
Yeah, for
I remember
sure.
you said you gave people homemade. Oh wait, I remember.
Spice mix. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
was, yeah, turmeric. Yeah.
Yes, and then you can also use string or paper washi tape instead of plastic tape. That's just a
Oh,
aside.
good to know about. I don't know about. I got to look up washi tape. Because that's
Yeah,
my
I
biggest
have
thing
some.
is
I, to be
scotch
honest, didn't realize
tapes.
it was made of paper, so I'm
Oh,
glad.
yeah.
It's really cute too. So, on to greeting cards.
Okay.
So, a pretty much everybody linked to this study on Stanford University's website that I could not find. I think they took it down.
They're like, it's too popular.
Yeah,
Or they
but
refuted it, but okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Or I think they may have just updated their website and like, links get lost or whatever.
Yeah, it's the university. You have turnover every 4 years. So.
Right. But they say that 2.65 billion Christmas cards are sold each year in the United States that could fill a football field 10 stories high.
No, don't take my Christmas cards from me. I have one sitting right here.
Already?
Oh, I buy a bunch from artists when I go out
Oh,
holiday
very
shopping
cool.
and send them to and so I just have extras all the time.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything from you.
Okay. Okay.
So the UK said that, well, the UK uses a staggering 300,000 tons of card
Oh
packaging
my
at
God.
Christmas, which is funny. They
Wow.
equated it to the weight of 2 million reindeer.
I would say Americans will use anything but the metric system to measure, but this is the UK, so they're the
Yeah,
ones.
right.
Okay. Okay. It's holidays. Fine.
Yes, yes,
Fine.
yes. And then a study conducted by the UK's Exeter University found that sending one card produces about 140 grams or zero point 0.3 pounds of carbon dioxide. And in the US, we mail around 1.3 billion holiday cards per year,
Jeez.
which
Okay.
is the same amount of CO2 emissions as charging 22 billion smartphones or 22,000 homes' energy use for 1 year.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Mailing is a problem, and yet we all get everything mailed to us. But
Yeah.
anyway. So that's that.
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
Like I said, I don't want to be a Scrooge, but facts are facts. No. So I looked up some other options. So if you don't feel, if that hits you hard and you're like, shoot, maybe I shouldn't send Christmas cards,
Yeah.
you have the option of virtual cards, which, to be honest, I'm not a Christmas card person. I do
Okay.
not send them. I
Scratching
actually
you off my
love.
list.
Sorry. That's hilarious. But I actually kind of love the idea of virtual cards, although I don't know, you'd have to make an exception for like grandma and grandpa. But
Yeah. That's it.
you hate it. You hate
I
it.
hate
It's fine.
virtual cards. I hate virtual cards.
I mean, I don't love them, but yeah, I mean, I love a paper card and I love sending stuff in the mail. I haven't done the Christmas card thing in a long time. I just find
It
it way
takes
too
time.
stressful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like way too much work.
Well, and then you get one back.
Right. Yeah, I'm
what
that
do you do with
asshole
that?
that gets Christmas cards and then doesn't send one.
Last year I was really bad about it. Last year I only sent out like a few. I used to have like quite a list, and I would handwrite all of them. And
That's nice.
last year I slacked.
I mean, hey, don't feel guilty, dude. I don't do it any year.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, apparently the earth thanks me.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I feel like people don't notice when you don't send them, but maybe I'm making that up. People are.
I
probably
definitely
judging
got
me
cards from people who I used to send them to, and I felt very bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Taylor family. I love you, and I love pictures of your children.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. If I send a card, I am never expecting it. I'm not like waiting around. Like, how dare they not send me one?
I don't keep a list of people who send me
like
cards.
A tally, like who's invited to Thanksgiving next year.
Yeah, right. No one would come.
Okay, another option which you may also hate and it could be impossible in terms.
I don't hate these options. I am like, all right.
It's easy, but it could be impossible in terms of time. But like a phone call or text instead of a card.
Hey,
I kind of like that.
That is kind of good. Yes,
that's an option. I did find one that was kind of cool, and it's a plantable gift card.
Okay. Yes, I like that.
Yes. So it basically is paper that comes with wildflower seeds inside of it. So the person can plant it. And it has seeds, like the one I found has seeds like black-eyed Susan, snapdragons, English daisies. So super cute. I'm really into flowers right now.
I'm holding one right now.
You're holding a plantable gift card right now?
Yeah.
What?
It wasn't a gift card. It was for my ex-husband's memorial service.
Oh my God.
They handed these out and I haven't planted it yet. It's just sitting on my desk here. That's interesting.
Well, that is the other thing. You have to kind of put that on the other person to plant it.
But what a nice idea.
That is lovely. I love it.
Yeah. That's funny. I was just looking at it.
That is so interesting. That's like such crazy timing because I've never heard of these before.
I hadn't considered it as a Christmas. That's a really great idea. You can actually probably make your own.
I was thinking the same thing, or even just like get bulk seeds and like have a little paper envelope with them, and you don't have to like make a whole card if you don't feel like it. But
yeah, I mean, but because paper is really easy to make.
Well, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, like you just throw it in the blender with some water, basically, and then you could just put the seeds in it and leave it out to dry.
Oh man, if you could use like your old like office paper that you were going to recycle.
I have a whole thing of shredding here that I.
Yes. Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like kind of a project, but if you like,
I was going to say this is something Saint Nancy would do. Saint Nancy Burst Whistle.
She probably already has. Let's be honest. Yeah. But Nancy Burst Whistle.
I would love to. Yeah, she's our patron saint of green living. Also from the UK, I should point out.
She is. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, so just making us all look like assholes over here. Yes, it's fine. And so it comes, this one that I found comes with a paper envelope, and it's made from 100% recycled material, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And they do cost $3.50 per card, the
Okay,
ones I'm
so
looking
you
at.
got to be choosy about who you send them to.
Yes. So they're definitely more expensive if you're sending out a bunch, because I found like you can get 18 5x7 cards from Walmart for like $11.
Yeah.
And that many cards would be $63 for the printable version. So I do think making your own might be a great option.
I kind of love this. Everyone, you're getting my shredded paper checks
Yes.
as
Oh
Christmas
my
cards this year.
God.
What a
Put
great
some
idea.
lilacs in there so you can't
Yeah.
write over it. It's just so
Yeah.
grumpy.
So,
We've talked
Merry
about
Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
yeah, or aside from that, you could shop for recycled paper if you really want to use regular greeting cards.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you could also make your own, like we said, or just don't send them. And I know that's sacrilegious to some people, but
It's
that is an
not.
option.
Yeah, abstaining is an option.
Yeah. What was it? Reject the reduce, reuse, recycle needs like reject in there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
no buy nothing group. I think the buy
Yeah.
nothing movement was saying like we need to reject some
An
stuff.
opt out button. Yeah.
Yeah, which is absolutely true. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be this, but in our lives in general. So
Yeah.
um and this was something we talked about just before we started recording, and I didn't have it in my notes, but I'm glad you brought it up about Christmas trees. What was it you were going to
Yes.
say?
About Christmas trees?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a friend who works for the Forest Service, and I think you have done actually more research. And I was just thinking about it. She used to take folks into the woods. She does forest management, and they do have to cut down trees to keep forests in good conditions. And so she would go out and cut down Christmas trees with our friends. And it was actually not a Christmas tree farm, but good for the forests to cut down a tree or two, or 5 or 6. So
Yes. And I just
yeah.
randomly had done research on this because
Yeah.
I was going to write an article about it, and it
Yeah.
never got published. I did get paid for it, but it's fine. And it's the coolest thing because you can go, not every U.S. National Forest participates, but you can go to their website and find one that does. And you pay like between, I think it was like $5 and $20. So it's really
Yeah.
affordable. And you do have to go and like cut down your own tree and,
Carry it home. Yeah.
carry it home and like do all the hullabaloo. But it's not like you have to hike 5 miles in or anything. You're just kind of like parking, and then I think
Yeah, it's close. I mean,
you're probably gonna walk like 100 feet, maybe.
they
more
make
than
it
that, but
easy, and it's a family event.
yeah, and it just seems so like Griswoldy in
Yeah.
a good way. Like I love
the
it.
good parts of the Griswolds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in Maryland, and I looked, and I didn't have anything closer than like 3 hours away. So
Oh, okay. That's a trip.
yeah. So, but I think it's much more much more common in the West Coast. So,
Yeah, New Mexico, it was definitely
yeah,
available.
yeah.
I wonder about Texas. I mean, yeah, I don't do a live Christmas tree because
I don't either. Mostly laziness and
Yeah,
cheapness. They're not cheap.
no, they're not.
They're
And
like
then
$70.
I will say there are sustainable ways to get rid of them. I mean, a lot of there's Christmas tree pickup in my neighborhood, but
Mm-hmm.
you can like pig sanctuaries. Pigs will eat them.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Ours, the last one that we got is still sitting in our shed. It's probably a fire hazard at this point.
That's
So that
just
was at least 2 years ago.
a friend of mine said he one time put he was like, oh, my Christmas tree, and it was like dry, of course, and he
Uh-huh.
put it in his fire pit and he lit it, and he was like, it went up fast and it was terrifying. It was like a 6-foot tree just on fire, and I was like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I could cut them up before you burn them if you're gonna do that, but
Oh
holy
yeah.
cannoli.
Yeah. Joey was like, he just hasn't done it yet because he's so afraid. And of course we would cut it up, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
that's
that thing
dry,
is gonna
tender. Yeah,
be
that
it's
is a
gonna be crazy.
fuego.
Plus all the
Yeah.
sap doesn't help.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On to my granola rating.
Okay.
A granola rating, for those of you who are new, is every episode we rate products or systems that we review, from 1 to 5 granolas, and obviously you want your granola to be super crunchy. So 5 is break your tooth off because it's so crunchy, and 1 is soggy, or if it's really bad, it's going to be a 0, which is waterlogged. Is that what I said?
Waterlogged. Yeah. I'm always
Yeah.
like sodden, and you're like waterlogged, Kat. I'm like, yes,
Get
yes,
it
yes.
right. um, so yes, so on this scale, this granola scale, I'm going to say I have to I'm just going to lump them all together. Like all
Okay.
of these like supposedly eco-friendly products for the holidays. I have to give it a sticky
Okay.
which is 2 out of
Yeah.
5, because the marketing around these products, for the most part, not all of them, but the most of it sucked.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, there were so many times where I saw marketing or like saw words like or phrases like zero waste, eco-friendly, no harm to the earth,
Ugh.
save the earth, guilt-free, and I hated all of them.
Hooey, 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 hooey.
Yes, and I hate all of them because it's like
Yeah.
nothing is zero waste.
Yeah.
Nothing that I mentioned was zero waste. I don't know how you could think of zero waste for any of these things. Nothing's eco-friendly because everything is, you can have eco-friendlier products, but nothing is good. Nothing that
Right.
we create is good for the earth, except compost. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And, everything is hard to the earth. We're not saving the earth by doing this. We're saving ourselves. The earth is going to be just fine. It's going to take a long time, but we won't be here if we
Right.
continue on this path. And guilt-free is just the most annoying thing. So I just couldn't. It just bothered me so much. And the bottom line is that all of these things are truly luxuries. So a lot of the products that we talk about are like toothpaste, or I don't know, like
Period products. Yes.
period products, cleaners, toilet paper, like stuff that we like theoretically have to have or are much more necessary than like wrapping paper. And like, yes, it's a joyful part of life and has a religious connotation, but there's not a great way to make these things truly sustainable. They're all extras in life. And you can do it like way smarter and way better, but to call it sustainable is a big stretch. So
Okay.
my hope is that, this is my opinion, but my hope is like knowing all of this will help us not fit into that statistic of being 1/4 more wasteful during the holiday season.
Yeah.
So
And I think it's a good theme to be like grateful for what you have.
yes.
Okay. I'm not going to, I was just thinking about what my Instagram post for this is going to be. I'm just going to put the Grinch's face. Tiffany's a Grinch.
Yes.
But there's, again, I think the opt out button, we do all these traditions without thinking about them. It's like, oh, I got to wrap a present. And
Right.
I wrap a present. It looks like a T-Rex got let loose on a, like I can't wrap. My mother is a genius at wrapping. I did not inherit that from her. I cannot wrap a present to save my life. So
with its tiny little arms and
yeah, it just looked like throwing itself at the. If you ever want to laugh, think either of a T-Rex making its bed or trying to wrap a Christmas present. Those are your options for laughing. That's the holiday flair for it. But
I love it.
Yeah, I can't wrap a present. So to me, opting out of wrapping is like, yes.
Right.
I do love Christmas cards, but I do like the idea of something useful. I like the idea of planting something. I really like the idea of making my own paper, because I have all this shredded paper,
Right.
or I could shred up last year's Christmas cards,
Yeah.
and that would be great.
It sounds really fun, actually.
Yeah, what a fun activity. If I can, if the tools aren't too much, but yeah, I think this could be fun. So, you've inspired me. Again, it is like
good.
at
I'm
the
not
end.
like being a
No, you're not a Grinch. If you are a Grinch, your heart has grown 3 times. You have made my heart grow 3 times.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm
So,
so glad.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think you can have traditions, but you don't have to have all the shit that
Yes.
goes with it, in my
Exactly.
opinion. Like, we were originally gonna talk also about holiday decor, but I decided not to include that, but it's like, oh boy, could you
Yeah.
talk a lot about holiday decor, you know?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Beyond.
actually decorate, and maybe sometimes I'll go out and pick some pine branches from this, some trees but that's kinda all I do, and I throw some we barely have ornament. This is kind of sad.
I don't
But
know.
actually, each year we have a tradition of, making an ornament, so
I
it's
like
just
that.
taking us a really long time to
Yeah.
actually decorate our tree, and we have
That's great
some, like,
though.
my mom gave me some a couple years ago and whatnot,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't have a star because we just don't have one, and, yeah, it's just like it's kind of it's fun. It is a tradition, but it doesn't really revolve around the fact that we have a ton of decorations or whatever,
Right. I love Christmas decor, but yeah, like I feel bad buying it. I
yeah.
the lights that I hung around my house for years. I worked in a hospital system, and we cleaned out all of their holiday decor, and they had functioning lights they were just going to throw away. And that was what I took. I took
So
like
cool.
strings of colored lights, and that was nice. But I
I do love a
I
light. I'm a big
yeah,
lights fan for
huge lights
sure.
fan.
Yeah.
I will always my I put up Halloween decorations, and I put up Christmas decorations, and I want to do Valentine's Day decorations, but I don't want to have boxes and boxes of plastic crap.
Right. I actually
So,
wish we could have holiday lights all year round and it wouldn't look weird or like we were
yeah.
being lazy. I just love them so much.
Yeah, I think they're so festive and nice. I agree. So, but yeah, there are ways like we can be thoughtful about it and not just
Mhm. Yeah, I love that you
consumer.
just like they're throwing them away and you're like, "Please, can I have
Yeah,
them?"
I need holiday lights. Yeah, and I didn't want to buy any. So, yeah, um I'm a big fan of that. I really you're onto something about reusing paper. I really like that idea.
Yes. Cool. Well, if we do end up doing that, we will post it and
Unless it's an extreme failure.
well, even if I think that would almost be better. It would be more entertaining.
You're right.
This is why you
Cat's
should not try
eco-friendly
this.
fails. Yeah, right. Number one, I'm clumsy, so don't do what I do. But yeah,
Well, ditto.
yeah. Well, I'm
Cool.
excited for.
Yay.
I'm kind of bummed about what next week is because it's not holiday themed. I feel like we did this out of order. Maybe we should
Well,
reorganize.
I wanted to I think we wanted to give people time,
Yeah, I mean,
so
I'm
you're
gonna
not
need
doing
6 weeks
holiday
to make
wrapping
Christmas
paper.
cards. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Right.
my
We need
I
time for that homemade paper.
I don't. I'd say I don't celebrate Christmas. I celebrate all of the midwinter holidays. So it's like Budzaka, Diwali, Mas, Saturnalia.
I
I think
love
is what
it.
I. It's
That's
like
awesome.
I threw Buddha in there. I don't know why, but it's Kwanzaa, Diwali, which is not always around Christmas, but is the Indian Light Festival, the Hindu Light Festival. Kwanzaa, Diwali, Hanukkah, Christmas, and Saturnalia.
What is that?
Saturnalia is the ancient Roman festival that Christmas is actually took over for. So
Oh, very cool.
yeah,
I feel like
maybe
there
I'll just do
should be
Saturnalia
something
this year.
pagan in there too, but
Well, Saturnalia is pagan for sure.
okay, gotcha.
Um, well, okay, the thing the holiday I actually celebrate. This is one. Speaking of the Grinch, and I can share this. This is my every year. I make gingerbread cookies and I mull cider and wine, and we watch The Grinch
Love
and
it.
we raise money for charity.
Oh my
And it's
gosh.
Grinch Fest. So I do Grinch Fest, and that was started by my good friend from college, Glenn Goodman, who does not listen to podcasts, so he'll never hear this. But we love you, Glenn. And he started it when we were sophomores in college, and
That is
I've just been
so
doing it ever since.
cool.
Yeah. So Grinch Fest is my holiday.
Yeah, and also one thing I would love to do, I don't know if it'll ever fly with my family, but like I would love to volunteer instead of giving gifts. Like I think that
Yeah.
would be really meaningful, but
Yeah.
who knows? We'll see.
Your food bank.
Or in addition to, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I love gift giving. It's one of my love languages. I
Yeah.
just I don't like compulsory gift giving, but I
Yeah.
love when something is exactly right for someone.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing.
Same here.
But
I like to give really practical gifts too.
yes,
And
I'm
it's
like you're
funny because people are always like, "Whoa, I
yeah,
didn't know I needed this, but I love it."
exactly.
I'm like, "I'm
Yeah.
so glad you like your really fancy ice scraper."
For me it was I hope you like your reusable menstrual cup.
Yes, exactly. Oh
which
my.
I don't think anyone appreciated at the time. But
Well, you never know.
yeah,
Maybe they came around.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, meaningful things. So
Yes, exactly. I love it.
well, you've brought up the holiday spirit in me.
Yay! I'm so glad. I was so afraid it would be the opposite. So
Oh
I'm
no,
very glad.
yeah. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks, listeners. Yes, like and subscribe. That could be your holiday gift to us. That is eco-friendly.
Oh yeah. And actually the biggest gift to us would be if you download our episodes, which is kind of weird for some people. They don't like to do that, but
But
if
if you're
you
going to be
just
traveling
feel
for
like
the
it.
holiday,
Yeah, and
yeah,
feel like saving your data, just download because
yeah,
downloads are a big deal for us.
yeah. It would help us know you're listening because we have no idea.
Yeah, it's really podcasts are hard to track.
Yeah. Well, but we don't do this for the listens. We do this for the love. So,
Yes.
all
For the
right.
holiday cheer and
But
love.
this is our heart grew 3 times that day.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good night, Tiff.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.